evening and a very, very warm welcome each and everyone on Supergrad's Cat YouTube channel. And the journey tells you everything. And today, in this particular episode, we do have amongst us Vandit Jain, who lately made huge inside XLRI Jamshedpur and in the very, very prestigious HRM program. And today we are here to explore his journey because kahin na kahin I feel very strongly that the journey is going to give you the path for the future. So one that my expectation of this particular interview is that now your deed should be the next set of students should follow the same footsteps. Congratulations once again.
Thank
And
you, sir.
and Mayur sir has also joined us along with him, who was his mentor throughout that particular journey. He hand-holded him, and आज finally XLRI तक छोड़ के आए हैं. Mayur sir, how is your feeling also? Let me ask this to you.
सो वंदित से शायद ज्यादा खुश तो मैं हुआ हूँगा बिकॉज आई थिंक आई वाज द फर्स्ट वन जिसको इसने मैसेज किया होगा ही जस्ट सेंड मी द स्क्रीनशॉट ही डिडंट इवन डाउनलोड एनीथिंग एंड सेंड मी सो आई वाज लाइक व्हाट इज दिस बोले डैशबोर्ड अपलोड हो गया है सी देयर आर कॉल लेटर्स मैंने कहा अरे वाह सो मैं कुछ ना कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट कर पाया ना कुछ कर पाया आई वाज लाइक आई लुक्ड एट इट अगेन एंड अगेन कि डेफिनेटली हो गया ना
Okay, let's backtrack and one the first question for you now. When and how did you exactly started this particular dream? Now, I think dream has come true now, right? Dream of XLRI or the top-notch B school of the country. And
Yeah.
how did the journey start?
Sir, so journey started last year
Hmm.
when I was trying to switch my domain. Like I am currently working as a tech support engineer,
All right.
and I wanted to be in a leadership position, working on cross-functional collaboration and expand my horizon and work in different domains. And working in a leadership role is the way to go. So I was looking at the opportunities, and everywhere I tried or I wanted to try it, there was a single thing that was coming everywhere, that you need to do an MBA because that's where you get all the skills that are required to perform those responsibilities and get those opportunities. So last year in June, I tried to start the MBA. Then I looked around on the web. I found the Supergrad SCAT.
Right.
I read about all the program and all, and then I enrolled, and the journey started. And here I am in XLRI.
Let me be more precise now because I want to know your first day as well. So when you were starting, were you confident at that point of time कि नहीं मेरा XLRI हो ही जाएगा and you're going to wear this particular crown or something else was there in your head that point of time that नहीं nervous थे क्या था that point of time?
Absolutely not. Like XLRI तो सोचा भी नहीं था सर. मतलब उस टाइम पे तो that time I was only thinking that okay, I have to do an MBA to get what I want.
Okay.
Then I looked at the CAT and XAT. I looked at how first I checked the question papers, then I checked how the coaching went, the timings and all, the syllabus, everything I looked at. So at that point of time, I wasn't even thinking of any B school. I was just thinking how I have to organize everything with my
Right.
job and how I have to plan everything and move towards it. So that was everything that was going on. I was not even thinking about the B school at that time. Like first day was not about B school. It was about CAT and Z. It was about the courses, the studies, the subjects that I have to study, syllabus and everything.
And then you picked up. Okay. I think one of the most common reasons of every topper getting inside or becoming a topper is consistency, and I'm quite sure it would have been your routine. So if you can give this particular, what should I say, this particular advice to all set of students who are listening to you right now, how were you consistent? And इतना daily level पे consistent होना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. So how did your routine look like that point of time?
So yeah, that's true. It is hard to be consistent, but
Yeah.
like initially I was very nervous that how I'll manage the 3 hours of classes, self studies with my job that I have to give around 8 to 9 hours.
Okay.
So I was nervous at first, but then my motivation was there. I have decided that I have to do so. I just kept on. I started taking classes. I started my work together. I started solving questions myself. So like the thing that I was nervous about, that I didn't have enough time or I'll be having less time to prepare for everything, that actually became the good thing for me. So
Okay.
because I didn't have any time to spare, that allowed me to organize every minute of my day. And when it like within 2 to 3 weeks, everything fell in place, and then
Okay.
it was like very smooth right after that. Like my work was managed, my classes were managed. I knew that at what time I have to study what, and because I didn't have any time to spare or waste, so I was not basically diverging from it. I was set there, and until cat I was there. I didn't diverge. So yeah, consistency was the key for me, and being occupied helped me.
Being occupied help you. But I would like to, deep dive over here because you said you were managing work and studies very properly that point of time. I need to understand this, कि कैसे हो रहा था मतलब how did your day look like that point of time, because coming from work exhausted, then brushing up your knees, jumping up, and once again going again for the study part is a tough task. So थोड़ा सा बताओ कैसे हो रहा था ये सब कुछ.
Yeah, so in the start it was very hard to manage. So because
वो जिम में
I
जाते
was
तो
missing,
शुरुआत में डंबल्स उठाना टफ रहता है, राइट वही.
yeah, so I was missing some responsibilities here and there. So and then I was missing some classes, or I was missing some part of my work. But eventually, when I felt that I can't miss the work, I can't let it affect my work, and then at the same time I couldn't have let it my work affect my preparation. So then I planned it. So basically, I pre-planned every task of my day. Like at this point of time, within 1 hour, I have to perform these tasks, and that's it.
Right.
I have to do that. If I didn't, then it's not like I am extending that 1 hour to 1.5 or anything. That's it. Then I'll have to cut short my lunch or dinner or any part of my day. I have to get that done in that time, and I have to do my studies in that time. So yeah, like preparing my day, getting up early. I got up early to study. Then I slept in between the day
Right.
for 1 to 1.5 hours. So that helped me stay up at late at night. So I
Great.
used to sleep at 12 to 1. Then I woke up at 5 to 6
Mhm.
and started studying. Then with my daily chores, then my work,
Mm.
then my classes, and then studies again. In between, I'm solving questions of quants and DLR. Then I'm reading RCs. So everything was like I knew that at this time I have to do this subject. Then like in the night, let's say I have to solve quants. In the morning, I have to read the RCs. In between the day, whenever I get 15, 20 minutes of time, I have to solve one DLR set. Then I have to get on with the classes, the RSMs, everything. So yeah, so basically the course material was so much that I was always worried how I was going to finish it. So that
Okay.
that pinch that was back in my head that helped me move along. So I have
Great
to do
points
that
being
and
made, Vandit. Just before we move ahead for the next question to Mayur, sir, one more question I would like to ask you over here. Uh, because your mentor is sitting in front of you. तारीफ करने के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, बुराई करनी हो तो कर सकते हो, no problem. Okay, let me ask a direct question. How did Supergrad shape your journey? And not only that, who all played a role in your life? If you can take name of those mentors right now as well.
sure, sir, definitely. So, like, I can't say a single name because every faculty, let's say from Shruti ma'am in VRC, Sanjeev sir in quants, then Mayur sir in quants and DILR, everyone played a key role in my journey because every faculty used to call up in the classes that one with what is the answer or what are you doing or like that. And whenever I connected for a mentoring session, there was like whole lot of discussion on how am I doing, how am I going to improve myself, what are my problems and everything. And like everyone was so reachable. He used to say like my user is here, and he was always like I used to WhatsApp him late at night or in the morning. Sir, नहीं हो रहा है कैसे करूँ मेरे को नहीं समझ आ रहा बिल्कुल भी कौन सा ये टॉपिक नहीं हो रहा how should I leave it for now, should I do it later, how should I do so much of questions in RSMs, how should I cover that, how and then mocks started and the scores were fluctuating so much, then there's a nervousness that keeps around okay
मयूर सही
और नहीं
सही
आ
बोल
रहा.
रहा है, ये इतना ही परेशान करता था आपको. So, but okay, on a
इससे
lighter
इससे
note.
ज्यादा परेशान तो हम लोग हो जाते थे कि यार वंदित व्हाई डिडंट यू अटेंड द क्लास यस्टरडे.
अच्छा इसलिए.
मतलब द
Okay.
फर्स्ट थिंग इन द class was you were working. Vandit, this will carry on, but cat will come only once.
Hmm.
Next year you will not have that courage to take cat again. So please classes regularly रखो. तो डांट भी खाता था. और हाँ, परेशान वाली बात है तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम फॉर्मल मेंटरशिप्स call, messages. There were various platforms where we were connected, like Telegram पे message, WhatsApp chats, and obviously mentoring sessions whenever he requested, I want a mentorship. So everyone was there. मतलब संजय सर, मतलब हम लोगों को हर स्टूडेंट के बारे में इतना आइडिया होता है कि वी डिस्कस कि यार वंदित का ऐसा चल रहा है, इसका ऐसा चल रहा है,
वही मेरा
इसका ऐसा
नेक्स्ट
चल रहा
क्वेश्चन
है.
भी था इनफैक्ट सो सॉरी फॉर कटिंग इन बिटवीन आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क व्हाट स्टूड आउट फॉर him I mean what stood out about him as a student if you can put throw some light over there yeah
एज अ
आनंद तुम बंद कर
स्टूडेंट
लो तुम्हारी तारीफ होने वाली है अभी सामने
बुराई भी हो सकती है. So as a student he was means as he mentioned कि he had that never giving up attitude
all
and
right
he was a go getter means नहीं हो रहा तो he was not like कि नहीं हो रहा, he was like कैसे करना है. So
okay
this question I think really helps a student rather than deciding themselves कि मुझसे नहीं होगा. तो
okay
एज अ ट्रेनर वी मोटिवेट देम कि नहीं पूरा तो नहीं छोड़ना है वंदित, अगर ये चैप्टर नहीं आ रहा है तो एटलीस्ट दिस मच इज द मस्ट डू थिंग एंड रेस्ट इज योर कॉल.
and what
तो
kept
इस
him
टाइप,
motivated क्योंकि आप बोल रहे हो कि हमेशा गो गेटर एटीट्यूड था तो that's why I'm asking this
because he was solving and he was updating the progress, he was in connection with the mentors. I think that is not because कि I am a trainer I want to take that credit, but I'm saying कि वो एक connection बहुत जरूरी है. And I think एक वीक में शायद 2 बार बात होती ही थी किसी ना किसी से. मतलब वंदित इज द वन हु वुड कॉल कि सर ये नहीं हो रहा है, वीआरसी में ये नहीं हो रहा है, क्वांट्स में ये नहीं हो रहा है, संजय सर ये वाला चैप्टर कैन यू प्लीज हेल्प अस विद द प्रैक्टिस. तो एवरीवन वाज देयर and he was connected with everyone and he himself kept him motivated because whenever he was about to give up or demotivate feel demotivated, he was like he used to call कि sir I am feeling demotivated, अब क्या करना है, what next.
okay
So I
great
think this is much required कि आपको पता है there are mentors, there is someone who cares for you, so you should approach them rather than deciding by yourself.
fair points being made and I think Mayur sir knows him really very well और ये जो connection है the connection that's being established यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं कैमराटी दिख रही है जो mentor student वाली होती है that clearly reflects and tells you that you know how attached they were during the preparation time but you
Mhm.
know my next set of question to you one that is you know during our preparations we all see our lows as well right so certainly there would have been some low point for you as well जिसने कहीं ना कहीं तुम्हारी किस्मत को बाद में बदला भी होगा because कहीं ना कहीं कहा जाता है कि वो बुरा वक्त ही है जो कि अच्छे वक्त की पूरी नींव रखता है as they say in Hindi right I would like to ask you
Yeah.
over here you know what was that low point for you and how did you overcome it
There were multiple.
okay
So to be very honest, when I started and like so initially when you start na, so everything is new.
right
You know, VR, CDR, cons, everything is new for you. तो थोड़ा टाइम तो ऐसे चले जाता है 2 महीने तो लाइक समझने में चले जाता है कि कौन सी कैसे करना है, how you would want to approach every subject and every kind of problems, how would you want to solve them.
वो सिंक इन करने
So
का टाइम ही ज्यादा रहता है right yeah
like I can say that within for 2 months it takes to sink in with the whole environment of CAT and XAT and understand everything, get the feel of it.
right
Then mock start. So initially it was like abhi to start kiya hai, so I can't expect to get a very high score. I can't expect myself to solve every query. But down the line when like in October or I say September October when नहीं हो रहा DILR सेट, नहीं हो रहे क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग के VRC क्वेश्चंस ना, लाइक श्रुति मैम क्लास में करा रही है, वी आर राइटिंग द आंसर्स एंड 90% of answers are wrong.
अच्छा
That's when the real hit comes. You know, keep there's a like 3 4 months down the line and you're just still making so much mistakes. Every day DRR का सेट नहीं हो रहा, 1 घंटे में भी नहीं हो रहा, क्लिक ही नहीं हो रहा, कौन
गाइस
से
देखो ये 2-3 महीने पहले की स्थिति बता रहा है आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस इस सिचुएशन में अगर बंदा एक्सएलआर निकाल सकता है तो आप भी कर सकते हैं ये बिल्कुल दिमाग में बिठा लेना प्लीज कंटिन्यू ऑन दैट
And there is one more thing to add to Rahul sir's point. He forgot to mention, he mentioned it yesterday कि जून में he had no idea what is CAT.
क्या बात कर रहे हो
I told you in the start, my only
He
motivation
told
was
me
like
this
find
thing.
out कि मेरे को ये इस रोल में काम करना है, I want to have these responsibilities in my job role or whatever I'm doing. And I found out that MBA is the way to go and CAT is the exam to write and that is the exam to write. In June, I started looking at the exams around 10th or 11th June. Around 15th of June, I saw CAT's previous year paper of 2023. and 17th June I enrolled. 16th June I
वेरी वेरी
enrolled and
स्ट्रेंज
17th June
स्टफ।
class
मैं मुझे
started.
मुझे नहीं पता कि स्टूडेंट्स इतना अनअवेयर मूड में है एंड डिस्पाइट दैट दे आर क्रैकिंग द एग्जामिनेशन। आई थिंक that's something written and you just get prepared for it and then you make it, so very wiki wiki situation for
Yeah,
people
like,
like you, right?
like it's yeah, matlab, it's not about getting the dream college or something. I wanted my dream uh, experience in my job.
All right.
So that's what I was looking for. I wanted to have that. And when I knew that this is the way to go, I was purely motivated. Then I started looking at the colleges, which are the best colleges. IIMs, everyone I've heard of any point of time from someone somewhere, but we don't know what goes in there, what are the placements and what kind of roles you get out of there. So then I started looking in the June, and then I prepared and everything started falling in place, and I'm here sitting right now preparing to get into XLRI.
All right, I would like to also ask you what was your weakest section? कुछ ना कुछ एरिया तो काफी वीक होती है, right? Mayur sir, before Vandit answers it, if you can answer this particular question, हो सकता है Vandit का thought अलग हो right now. Let me see कि आप लोग के थॉट्स मैच कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि नहीं। एंड
क्रॉस चेक कर रहे
हाँ,
सच
क्रॉस
में
चेक
पढ़ा
कर रहा हूँ
है
मैं कि भाई कितनी पढ़ाई करी थी एक्चुअल में। ओके, नॉट ओनली दैट।
एक्चुअल में नहीं, मतलब वंदित को क्वांट्स में भी प्रॉब्लम थी कहीं कहीं पे, और कहीं कहीं पे डीआईएलआर में भी थी।
ओके,
डीआईएलआर वाज लाइक कि सर कुछ टॉपिक्स ऐसे हैं जो मुझसे नहीं हो रहे हैं, और क्वांट्स में भी कुछ टॉपिक थे, मतलब ऐसा नहीं था कि पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन, बट देयर वर फ्यू एरियाज जहां पे ही वाज वीक। आई नो दैट बट आई वोंट नेम इट, नहीं तो सब लोग वो एक टैबू बना लेंगे, ये तो जब वंदित से नहीं हुआ, टॉपर से नहीं हुआ, तो हमसे क्या ही होगा। बट देयर वर
बट ही इज
एरियाज,
नॉडिंग हेड, इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं अग्रीमेंट है, आई थिंक
अग्रीमेंट है, तो
एग्रीमेंट है।
देयर वर पॉइंट्स वेयर वी कनेक्टेड एंड आई वाज लाइक अरे वंदित इतना नहीं सोचना है, सिंस यू आर वर्किंग बस इतना सा कर लो, वुड बी
ओके,
फाइन। और आई गेस
वंदित इज ही
यही
राइट?
एडवाइस बाकी सबने दी होगी।
Yeah, absolutely right. That's where, some topics are there that really scares you. Like you started doing them and you don't find your way
Okay.
to the solution, and that's when you see like why is that not happening. एक टॉपिक है, उसका सेट भी 10 मिनट में हो रहा है, उसका कौन सा क्वेश्चन 30-40 seconds में हो रहा है, and then the other one is like कौन 5 minutes में भी नहीं हो रहा, डीएनआर का सेट 1 घंटे में भी नहीं हो रहा, so you started getting panicked, you
Right.
know. But then I talked to mentors and they were like, that's fine. If it's your weakness, don't be scared of it. Just don't focus, don't overthink on
Give
it.
up, हाँ,
You will start it solving it eventually. Don't leave it. Like I was looking forward to it that they'll say that, okay, you can leave this topic and
छोड़ दो
start
इसको।
it.
Mayur, the next question to you, and
Yes,
perhaps things that students should learn from student like Vandit Jain.
one
In
is
2 or 3.
consistency,
All
one
right.
is consistency, and second is you are the one who can help yourself.
You are the one who
Mentors
can
can
help yourself.
connect with you,
Okay.
and means supergrads uh, is in a habit of, whole team is in a habit of connecting with the students, but there are students who do not even respond to those connections. They are like ki, I will sort it by myself.
Okay.
So you have to be a go-getter, you have to be consistent, and you should follow the advice, because if experts are suggesting something, they have that experience and they have seen people doing it. So it is not like कि generic advice ही तो है, सभी ऐसा बोलते हैं, नहीं, you have to follow it and उसको एकदम जहन में उतार के आपको मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी। एंड आई रिमेम्बर कि कैट के बाद उतना पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स भी नहीं था, मतलब जैसा एक्सपेक्ट किया था, वन दिस was expected to get 99.99 types of percentile, but नहीं हुआ। But for 5 days ये दुखी था, और
May
5
I
days का
ask him कितने परसेंटाइल थे? एक बार रिवील कर दो यार।
It was 95.56.
So this is a
95.56.
great learning, guys. I mean, when you fail, that failure is actually a step before your success. I should say this if I'm putting it in right words. So as they say,
बिल्कुल
failure is nothing but one thing that will help you move towards success. और कैट कहीं ना कहीं फेलियर था, और 95 परसेंटाइल पे बंदे को गिराता है, उससे टफ एग्जाम में यू आर गेटिंग ओवर एंड अबव 99 परसेंटाइल
topper
एंड
of
गेटिंग
supergrads 99.89.
99.89. And not only
59.
that, you're making into India's best HR college in the HR program. Vandit, before we say goodbye, and I ask last question from both of you, एक छोटा सा राउंड खेलते हैं, वन वर्ड इसमें आपको आंसर करना है, सिर्फ वन वर्ड में कहोगे, ठीक है? वन वर्ड दैट डिस्क्राइब्स योर जर्नी।
Amazing.
All right. Favorite study break activity?
Sitcoms, watching sitcoms.
Sitcoms. Okay. कौन सा वाला? अब मैं थोड़ा पूछ रहा हूँ.
I was watching Big Bang Theory.
अच्छा, Big Bang Theory. Okay. Toughest mock score you remember?
Sorry, which one?
Toughest mock score you remember?
Okay, the first. It was, I guess, 19.
Oh, was that? इतना कम?
Yeah,
अच्छा,
Yes.
सुपरकैट्स
yeah,
के मॉक्स कैसे थे? क्योंकि मॉक्स के ऊपर बात नहीं हुई, तो इसलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. Did they challenge you?
yeah. They did 19. I got 19 and 95.
All right.
So that was they really challenged me, really. But to
One
be very
moment.
honest,
चलो, next
they
one word फिर से एक बार.
very
One
accurate.
moment you will never forget from this year.
Yesterday's
The result.
the result, absolutely. I
All
can't
right.
ever forget.
Now एक बड़ा question. Why Supergrats?
Um, I saw it on the web. I read about the mentors. So the mentors, the description of the mentors that was on the website, I get the conviction. I
You
knew,
got the conviction.
yeah, there was a little itch that it is new that comes in the mind. But I read about the mentors. They have great experience. I read about like what materials are we gonna provide, then the mocks and everything. Everything checked out for me if I didn't ignore the new angle. And then mentors are all experienced, so it doesn't matter if the coaching is new. All the mentors were experienced for 10, 15 years, and like they were training the same students for so long and converting them. So that was, I took my bet on the mentors, and it really worked out. You can see.
The last question of this particular interview. So Mayur sir, you as well as Vandit are going to answer this. If you would had to share one mantra or philosophy that actually defined this entire journey, what would it be?
You carry on,
Uh,
Vandit.
okay. So for me, I'll say everything happens for a reason.
Great.
Because the journey started for me when I got rejected from one of the position I applied to in
Oh,
May,
all right.
and in June I got I made the decision that I have to do an MBA because I can't get rejected because I don't have the skills.
Okay.
So everything happens for a reason. I was really demotivated that time I got rejected, and then I did that, and now I'll be in a far better place when I get out of XLRI. So yeah, that's the mantra.
Mayur sir, over to you now.
I completely agree. Means I am a believer in destiny. I usually post these things. Ki bhai, there is something destined for you.
Right.
And there, for Vandit, it was not a single instance. I would like to not to answer it very precisely. Will be little elongated, but I want to highlight few points. Like scoring 19 in a mock was a very shattered experience for him as well as us.
All right.
Then Cat was expected to be on the lines, but 99.59 is not an absolute failure. But for a candidate who aimed to achieve 100 or 99.99, for him it is a failure. So then, second instance, then when he started preparing for that, we stayed connected. He did the sessions, he gave the examination, he got the fabulous percentile, and I interviewed him.
All
And
right.
the very next day, the journey of interview started. And when the journey of interview started, it started with SOP and everything. But BM का interview was not on the lines.
Okay.
And as a mentor, मतलब मेरा तो काम ही होता है, I just message, ask him कि भाई what is going on. And he was like, बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं गया है. And मतलब it was not as per the expectations. And he was to travel the next day for HRM, next to next day, I guess. 2 days back
Yeah,
one day.
it
And
was,
one day I
yeah.
was like कि यार एक और मॉक कर ले. बोले ठीक है सर. तो मैंने कहा कब? बोले सर अभी करते हैं. मैंने कहा वंदे इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, मतलब ऑल ऑफ ए सडन यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड. बोले नहीं सर अभी करते हैं, विल हेल्प मी अ लॉट. एंड वो एक इंटरव्यू आई
Hmm.
थिंक वाज अ गेम चेंजिंग थिंग, क्योंकि इट मोटिवेटेड हिम. और जो भी उसका एक्सपीरियंस रहा होगा
Hmm.
उसकी वजह से मे बी द एचआर इंटरव्यू वेंट ऑन लाइन्स एंड got the call in the first go. So if I'm not wrong, Vandit would agree or
Yeah.
disagree with me, but every time whenever you will fail, there is something better
Written for you.
waiting for you. Yes.
Yeah.
So कैट का परसेंटाइल नहीं आना, दैट के एचआरएम का कॉल हो सकता है. तो
हो
ये
सकता है.
आपको गिरना उठना लगा रहेगा जर्नी में. यू हैव टू बी कंसिस्टेंट थ्रू आउट. and
All right.
there is something best waiting for you. So this is the mantra. So
So as
this
they
is it.
say, life is a roller coaster ride.
Yes.
Life roller coaster ride है या नहीं, but Vandit ki journey was certainly. All right. On this note, I'll say thank you to both of you, Vandit, as well as Mayur, sir. I think,
Thank you.
and best of luck, Vandit, for making it huge in India's best HR college. And you will be a
Thank you
dear
so much.
child, हमारे साथ हमेशा जुड़े रहना, बस इसी तरीके से.
Definitely, sir. I can't get away from you guys. I'm leading my mentors every point of my life.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.